Hey there, Taurus. Welcome to your reading for the week of March 20th. This week, we are just going to jump right in here. And you have this card that says, you will break free from all that no longer serves you. You also have the Moon and the Queen of Wands. Interesting because, to me, the Moon and the Queen of Wands can actually be very, very similar. That might not be accurate tarot, but I'll tell you why. Because the Moon is a card of kind of seeing something through to the end. It's a card, normally in the background of the Moon card, there are some mountains, and mountains represent achievements. So, I feel for, like a lot of the times the Moon comes up, it says we don't know how we're going to accomplish something, but we just have to keep going. And to me, that is very similar to like the best energy that the Queen of Wands can kind of use to her advantage, is that she learns as she goes, and she's not afraid to be, confident. She's not afraid to learn as she goes. She's not afraid to like really charge towards what she wants in life. And, that's like all she's willing to accept. So, I kind of feel this reading is asking you to keep going towards some sort of goal, wish, or dream. You literally end with this card at the end here that says your perseverance is being rewarded. And this is in the area of the good stuff. So clearly, if you've been working towards something, that's what this reading looks like to me, by the way. It looks like that you're trying to achieve something in life, maybe trying to gain a certain like level of status or, income or whatever the case may be. This is very good. Even though you go to the Eight of Swords here, this is the area of the good stuff. So it doesn't matter what shows up here. It's going to be good no matter what. And this to me looks like you're breaking free. Eight of Swords in the good stuff would say that you're kind of finding a new opportunity to be successful in life, or maybe you're just finding happiness. The other thing is, when you have a reading that goes from the Moon to the Sun, it could just say that you are leaving a Moon period and obviously stepping into a Sun period. I always say that the Moon is meant to represent temporary energy. The Moon comes up, Moon goes down, Sun comes up. Literally, that's what shows up in your reading. But I kind of feel like you need to keep pushing here. You're very close here to being successful as well. You have the Sun. Things are definitely starting to feel better for you as well. I keep, telling people things are going to be far from perfect for like the next 10 years. I think that the first half of Pluto and Aquarius, a little bit rocky, a little bit, unpredictable, but it's like them by 10 years from now, we'll all be used to it and we'll be fine. And I'm not suggesting that it should take you 10 years. I think that if we work with the energy, then we won't be suffering at all. And I don't even think we have to suffer at all, period, with Pluto and Aquarius. But it is a big change. There will be major changes. We're going to see a lot of collapses, as I've said a million times before, and I've been right. I mean, we just had two banks collapse. As I've said before, I said it before the FTX scandal, there would be financial scandals. FTX thing happened. It's like, and again, this isn't even I'm not even predicting this. To me, it's a very, very obvious to anyone who knows what they're talking about when you look at the astrology. So, to me, it's very obvious that these things would be happening. So don't be blown away by my abilities, right? But what I would say is, again, we're going to see a lot more and bigger and worse. But for the people who pay attention, I feel like there are going to be a lot of opportunities to be successful, to improve your life. And clearly there's a lot of happiness coming in for you here. I also feel, not really love reading, but if you want love, I do feel that there could be a fire sign that's coming in for you. You have the Hermit. Some of you could also be a Virgo, by the way, as well. That's coming in for you, Taurus, if you want love. Or you might already have, this person in your life. Could be a Cancer as well, I suppose. Could be anything. It's a general reading. But the Hermit really tells me that you've earned something. He's, again, normally standing at the top of the mountain. We were talking about the mountains with the Moon card, and he needs to shine his inner light now. So I do feel every single reading I do for you, it's like there's something about like a skill or, something about you that needs to be exposed. And I don't mean like exposed as in exposed. I mean like you have some sort of talent, gift, skill, or ability that you need to show the world because it could make you successful or it could lead to love or whatever the case may be. With the Moon in the Queen of Wands, you have the Devil. It is kind of interesting. I do feel for those of you that have dealt with like a toxic situation, I feel like things are coming to light. Like you are seeing why it's toxic, or you just are seeing what happened in the situation. I'm not really getting much there other than you're seeing it. I also do feel it could be a Capricorn coming in for you. With the Sun, you have the Strength card. Some of you obviously could be a Leo. You always get Leo in every single reading that I do for you, so it wouldn't surprise me if you were attracting a Leo or someone who has Leo on their chart. A lot of people say, Taurus and Leo doesn't work, but I don't know. My parents are Taurus and Leo. They've been married their whole entire lives, forever. So, it's like, I don't know. I've seen it work, right? So it's like, I think that we need to get away from sun sign compatibility. As I always tell people, it's like the worst thing you can look at. With the Hermit, you have the star. Really good reading. And again, proving my point here, because the Hermit normally has a star in his lantern. I always say he needs to let that star out. So the star is like you, letting some sort of hidden talent, gift, skill, or ability out. I always like to remind people as well that the star says something that's possible for one person is definitely possible for you. That star, it's, she's pouring water onto the land outside the pool, and it kind of represents, that pool is a universal consciousness, and it kind of says what's possible for one person is possible for everyone. Next, in the area of the unexpected, you have the spyglass. It says zoom in, take a closer look. I'm pretty sure I said this in your last reading. I don't think you're making mistakes or anything like that, but I do get this energy of kind of just needing to double check the things that you're working on, not for bad reasons, but number one, so you don't make a mistake. Number two, you might find something. You might maybe you missed something, and it's popping into my head again. A couple weeks ago, I hired a person. I keep telling the story because it was one of those moments where I was like, how did I miss that? I hired a person. They didn't do the job that I hired them for, basically. And then when I looked at what I posted, it was not even I missed an entire section, right? And so, normally I have my brother, because I miss things very easily. I'm a Pisces and I'm bad at spelling in the first place, but he wasn't here to check it. And because he didn't check it, not his fault, but my fault, right? Because I didn't double check it. The person didn't do the job I hired them for, but totally my fault. So if I double checked it, that wouldn't have happened. And, again, that's definitely popping into my head for you, where if you're hiring people, or even if you're not hiring people, you could just be submitting paperwork, submitting a job application or anything like that. Again, not a bad thing. You're just doing this just to make sure. And, I would just double check the things that you're doing. You have the Chariot, the Ace of Wands, and the Ten of Swords. A really weird message I'm getting on the Ten of Swords here as well, Taurus, that it's I feel like you need less than you think. Those are literally the words that are popping into my head with the Ten of Swords. I'm not suggesting that you're not experiencing a loss or anything like that, but again, sometimes people come at me, they're like, you're too positive. Ten of Swords means this, and I lost this person. I'm like, okay, great. Then what is me telling you that you lost that person going to do for you other than nothing? It's I get other messages than that. So there you go, to that one person that's going to leave that comment. But what I would say is, it's some of you, I feel if you look closer at your career, job, business, whatever it is you do for work, it's maybe you think you need all this extra stuff to be successful, but I feel you need less. Maybe you feel you need a bunch of money, but I actually feel you need less than you think you need. And, it's no matter which way we take it, Ace of Swords, you're going to be victorious. Queen of Cups says follow your heart. Six of Pentacles is kind of planting seeds, but, it's kind of equal give and take, but he's also, he's being efficient is the thing about the Six of Pentacles. He's not really looking at how can I invest in this new business or career, or how can I invest in this person with as much as possible? And it's not about him holding back either. On the negative side of things, right? The Six of Pentacles can be breadcrumbing, but I always say tarot is a spectrum. And, to me, on the positive side of things, he can look at a situation and he's how can I attack this in the most efficient way possible? Definitely popping into my head for those of you that are working on businesses and careers. I almost feel you could be overgiving or, overdoing things. And so if you're finding that things in business aren't going well for you, I would try to simplify things, It's kind of funny, even with these readings, right? I always say that, it's I do the readings the way I do them, and it works for me. But I've definitely noticed, if I have a simple reading that I don't think is very good, people always say that it's my best reading ever. When I have a reading that I think is really good, that has a bunch of details, it doesn't get as much, positive feedback. And again, it's just something interesting, right? It's sometimes I think we overgive, or we think that we need to make something more than it actually is. And I feel this is saying, just, get down to brass tacks, basically. Just give, kind of give what you can and make sure you're being efficient. You have the Ace of Wands. I really feel you can't go wrong with moving towards your desires here, especially you, Taurus, because you have Uranus in your sign. Uranus in your sign is all about values, and value as well. Those are two different words, meaning the things that you value, but also things that have value as well, both. So again, as long as you are moving towards your desires, usually what we desire, we value. And if you are making sure that you're having valuable experiences, there's going to be a lot of growth. There's going to be a lot of success. You have the Chariot, which is like a victory coming in for you. I do also feel for a small percentage of you, this could be a move for love. If you are kind of like thinking about moving towards a person. Again, for some of you, this could be a new person, so maybe you don't know them yet. But just going this way, I kind of feel like some of you could be moving or traveling for love. Again, take it how it resonates. Let's see. With the Chariot, you have the Seven of Wands. Chariot says where there's a will, there's a way. If you believe that something is possible in your life, you're going to be successful. Seven of Wands is a card of conviction. I always say that when you believe something deep down inside with the Seven of Wands, like deep down in your DNA, then you will be very successful. So it's a card of like having those deep beliefs. And, sometimes I think to be successful, we can't have a plan B, right? We only work towards plan A and that's it. So, there you go. With the Ace of Wands, you have the Death card. Could be a Scorpio coming in for some of you, but I also feel that there is probably a change coming into your life by moving towards things that you actually desire. I do get a little bit of flip-flop energy here, and here's what I mean. Here is what I mean here, Taurus. I think based off the astrology, I do see that some signs could be in this flip-flop energy where maybe you tell people that you're going one direction in life and then you actually flip back to something else or you change your mind. People don't like that, right? People don't like when we tell them we're going to do something or that we are something and then we change. People don't want us to change. I feel like this reading is encouraging you to change. And who cares what people like? But just know that if you tell people, I'm going to start this dog grooming business, but then you change it and you say, actually, I'd rather start this bakery, people are going to think you're crazy, right? But you need to do it anyway because I wouldn't worry too much about the flip-flop energy. I think it's more like, it's like I kind of look at things like maybe we have like a goal. It's almost like a funnel, right? We have to like wiggle back and forth before we actually like kind of concentrate down onto the thing that we actually want to do in life. And I feel like you're kind of like wiggling and flip-flopping. Maybe it looks like flip-flopping, but I really feel like you're getting more concentrated. I hope that makes sense, what I just said. With the Ten of Swords, you have the Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands is like carrying a burden. What I would say here is that, I think you're making things too complicated. That's really what I was getting on that Ten of Swords for whatever reason. It's like, it was just popping into my head that you're wasting your time or, you're doing too much, right? And I actually feel like maybe in work or business, as crazy as it sounds, I think it would be much better to do less and to do what's important than it would be to, kind of like try to do everything, So I would like look at what's efficient. Next, what are we doing here? I can never remember. We are looking at, what you need to hear right now. You have this conjunction card. It says alliance on it. There definitely could be people who want to help you. Again, teamwork makes the dream work right now, for sure. So I keep encouraging people to, work with other people if you can. There's going to be a lot of benefits in doing that. I also feel that some of you could be leaving like a person or a group of people. And I'm not talking about love here. I'm talking about like in work or business. You have the Eight of Cups here, Ace of Swords, and the Six of Pentacles. I see a lot of this energy right now, especially for those of you that like aren't getting paid your worth or your value or whatever. It's like you might be starting to look for something much, much better or something that pays you more money. So don't be afraid to walk away from like a job. It's like, yeah, maybe someone's sad about it, but are they going to change? Are they going to pay you more money? So I keep telling people like, don't just quit a job right now. By the way, get a job first, then quit. But the other thing that I would say here is that some of you, it's kind of like, maybe you go to your boss and ask for a raise and they say no. It's like, oh, okay, I'll go get something else out then. You know what I mean? It's like, I think some of you could be kind of standing up for yourself in that way. You have the Ace of Swords, which is definitely, I do feel like a victory coming in for you here because we go Chariot, Ace of Swords, Knight of Cups. Even outside of love, the Knight of Cups is like a dream. I always say he's normally looking into that cup. He's scrying. He's, looking into the water, getting images, and he's following his intuition. Really, for you, I've been saying this to you for weeks, it looks to me like you're following your heart. Queen of Cups, you keep getting the Queen of Cups in your readings, and you have the Ace of Swords, which would be kind of like following your inner truth. And I feel like doing that is obviously going to lead to some, positive changes. You have the Six of Pentacles here. Again, I was getting something about I think it would be more important to be efficient with the Six of Pentacles for you. I don't always say that with the Six of Pentacles, but again, this week, that's kind of what I'm getting for you. I feel it would be a good time for you to make sure that you're investing in efficient situations. That goes for love, business, health, spiritually, pretty much everything. You know what I mean? It's like I would be making sure to do those things. So, I would just make sure. And I would, don't be afraid to experiment with that Six of Pentacles as well. Because again, you never know. I think we have to experiment at this time. I've been trying to get, more healthy, so I've been, dieting and everything like that. And before I started, at the beginning of this year, and it's I was cutting my calories like crazy, and I wasn't losing very much weight very quickly. I upped my calories, and I started losing more weight. So it's you can't figure these things out until you kind of look into it, and you have to be willing to open up to other ways of doing things as well. I think the astrology that we're in right now, there might be something that works better, but you have to discover it. With the Eight of Cups, you have the Six of Wands. Definitely success coming in for you. We see you have every single victory card in the deck here, so could be some celebrations coming in for you because of a victory or a success. With the Ace of Swords, you have the Four of Wands. Someone wants to marry you, Taurus, or you want to marry a person. Take it how it resonates. But there could be marriage in your future if you want love. If you don't want love, again, there is definitely a message here. And even if you do want love, doesn't matter. What I would say is whatever you want, and it could be multiple things as well. It's I think that you need to have that deep commitment, but it has to do with your beliefs, believing that it's actually possible. And again, I'm a big fan of brainwashing ourselves. If you have to brainwash yourself into believing that you can accomplish your business goals, your work goals, your career goals, your love goals, whatever, then do it, right? And, I feel like this is saying that the deeper you commit, then the more successful you're going to be. With the Six of Pentacles, you have the Lovers, so clearly could be love coming in for you. Doesn't really surprise me based off the astrology that you Earth signs keep getting these love readings basically. But what I would say here is it could be love. And I also feel that it's probably something much more balanced with that Six of Pentacles. And it's striking me as much more efficient. Wouldn't surprise me if it's something long distance. Could be a long distance friend or something like that. Finally, in the area of the good stuff, it doesn't matter what shows up here. It's going to be good no matter what. You have the Sun card. It says your perseverance is rewarded. Yeah, because you didn't give up, I feel like you're being rewarded. Again, I'm a big fan of doing one new thing every single day. If you've been watching me for a while, you know that in basically every single video, I'm testing something new. So, I would do that if you have a business or a career, because I think that part of perseverance is that we can't keep doing the same thing, right? It's obviously, if you're working on a business and the things you're doing haven't been working for 6 months, it's time to make a change. It's time to try more, or try something different. Again, I wouldn't even if I were you, I would not necessarily be thinking about hard work with this reading. And I feel like I said this to you last week as well. I would be thinking more efficient, what is the most efficient way I could do this, whatever it is that you're doing, right? And that's going to lead to the most success. I also do feel, again, for those of you that want love, I feel like you are being rewarded in love. You have the Queen of Cups, the Eight of Swords, and the Knight of Cups. Again, the Eight of Swords is going to be positive because it is showing up in the good stuff. It looks like you're setting yourself free. I do feel you could be attracting a knight in shining armor type of person here. Take it how it resonates, whatever gender you're attracted to. But I feel like it's just a really good person. And again, I feel like you've been patient. It's I even think that for most of you Taurus people out there, it's maybe your love story has been very different than what you would consider to be normal, right? It's I don't know, who the hell knows what that is nowadays, but what I would say is it's maybe your friends have all had a certain love story that you kind of look up to, or that you have just noticed in general. And I feel like yours has maybe been more lonely or a little bit different, but again, I feel like you're being rewarded with this Knight of Cups. You have the Eight of Swords, so like I said, in the area of the good stuff, I feel like you are kind of setting yourself free here. I feel like you're going to be, it's you're opening up to new solutions as well. I think this is true for all areas of your life. Again, Eight of Swords to me, I have a feeling this is going to be a major card for the next 10 years or so, because I just think that people will be a little bit stuck to the old way of doing things. Eight of Swords represents one way of doing things when there could be a million ways to do anything that you're doing in life. And again, I'm going to keep encouraging people to, look for new solutions, look for different ways that the same thing can be done, like your business or your career. It's there's probably going to be new ways. Again, we have AI now and all this other stuff, and we're just going to see more stuff other than AI too. I'm not even just talking about that. I'm talking about everything. There are just going to be all these random new opportunities because of Pluto and Aquarius, mark my words, and you should be trying them just to see. It's like there could be new social media. There could be new website opportunities. Who the hell knows? But I would be trying everything. You have the Queen of Cups here. The Queen of Cups, again, I feel is saying follow your heart. Again, you've been getting her for like weeks now. I also feel like you need to trust your intuition more. With the Queen of Cups, yeah, you have the Eight of Swords again. I kind of feel like you are opening up more to your heart, like what your heart is telling you to do, so I like that. With the Eight of Swords, you have the Two of Wands, again, leaving a comfort zone. Both cards, Eight of Swords can represent, it doesn't really represent a comfort zone, but she's kind of not seeing that she could set herself free. Same thing with the Two of Wands. Normally, the guy on the Two of Wands standing at the top of a castle, and his story is that he rushed to a finish line. He didn't enjoy his journey, like the journey that he went on to get the castle in the first place, so he missed out on a lot. It's like, he's like my Click card. If you've ever seen that movie Click with Adam Sandler, it's like he just rushed to the end. But he has a whole world in his hands. It's like he still has more opportunities. He still has more things that he can accomplish. And, I kind of feel like that's what the Eight of Swords in that card is saying. With the Knight of Cups, yes, definitely. King of Wands, again, it could be a water sign, but again, fire. I think I said fire at the beginning of your reading. I really lean towards the fire sign side of things, but take it how it resonates, whatever. So what I would say here is that, if you are looking for love, could be a fire sign. If it's not a fire sign, I would definitely say it's a King of Wands type person. Bold, assertive, confident. You have the Queen of Wands as well, divine counterparts. So there's going to be a lot of attraction here, I would say also. But there you go. I would also say that you could be embracing those traits. Like I said, with the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands together, I would definitely be being bold, be confident. Like, don't sell yourself short here, Taurus. We're going to pull 5 main themes now. You have this Messenger card. There could be some important messages coming in for you. I do feel there could be communication. Like, if someone's interested in you, they could be communicating with you. Next, you have this Room card. Why? I don't really like this card. It's just like a room. Who cares? And then you have this Old Woman card. I think this is more of that click message. It's like the old woman is sitting in the room here, and intuitively, I kind of feel like some of you, it's like saying, don't let life pass you by. Like, go have experiences, go have fun. This reading is really encouraging desire. All your readings are encouraging desire. There's one big reason all Taurus's readings have encouraged desire. Uranus and Taurus. I keep saying it's like Uranus and Taurus is freedom. If you are not doing things that make you feel free, then you are going to have a sucky time, right? There's no other way to say it. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. So, I would like go do things you enjoy. You have this Scholar card. I feel like learning is definitely highlighted right now. I keep telling people Pluto and Capricorn, it's going into Aquarius. It's going to retrograde back into Capricorn. That Capricorn energy, this is like Chris's crappy astrology, but I'm telling you right now, I think you have to move a lot of dirt to get to the goal. It's Pluto, far away. And, on top of other things that are going on. But, again, I'm telling you right now, the people who educate themselves, the people who learn about new opportunities or new ways of doing things are going to be the most successful. It's pretty much the only thing I talk about on this channel. That's, like, how important it is. Next, you have this Cheerfulness card. A lot of reasons to be happy. I've noticed, like, a lot of people this week having a lot of these happy cards. So, could just be a good week. Could be things getting better. You also have, finally, the gift card. Could be some sort of gift coming in for you. By the way, if you're dealing with I would say that some of you could be dealing with a Virgo here as well. Virgo had the gift card, and you also showed up in the Virgo reading. Virgo shows up here in your reading. So if you're dealing with a Virgo, could be love. And there you go. But really good reading. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.